All right. So thanks everyone for coming. I actually, because we're on webinar, I can't see who's here, but I can see that a few of you are here, which is lovely. So that's really good. So George is joining us today, and I'll just introduce you to George. So he is the National Specification Manager at Polytec, and has been with Polytec for 15 years. Is that right?
Correct, yep.
Yeah, 15, yep. Michelle's saying hello to you, not to me, to you.
Hi, Michelle.
And me, I'm Michelle. Yeah, so George sits on the board with the HIA Association and the Kitchen and Bathroom section, and also is a judge with the Building Designers Architects Association. Gee, that's a mouthful, yep. And also a judge at the Australian Cabinet and Furniture Association. So busy man.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to hand it over to you now, George. I'll jump off screen and I'll let you go with it with your presentation. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gabby. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's well. Thank you very much for making the time to join us today. I normally, with the Polytec business, we normally use Microsoft Teams, so Zoom. So excuse me if I do some mistakes with Zoom, but I'm going to give it a go. I will introduce you to what I'm talking about today. I've prepared a PowerPoint presentation to talk about, so just give me 1 second and I'll try and work all this out. Share screen, share sound. Oh, perfect. I think you can see that now, or do I have to swap displays? Swap screens. Terrific. Right, so I can't see your thumbs up or the comment section, but hopefully you can see the screen now with the full presentation, without the notes part. So my name is George Abagi. I represent Polytec, as Gabby said, International Specification Manager's role. Polytec is a vertically integrated business, all the way from a sustainably managed timber forest through to making particle board, MDF, decorative laminates, and delivering it through to joiners across Australia. So today we'll be talking about a couple of things, and hopefully I can give you some insight in what we do and what the background of Polytec is. We won't spend a lot of time on that, but just to briefly talk to you a little bit about that. Then we'll have a look at some items on how do we make the right selection using the Polytec products. So we'll talk about product, substrate, colour and finishes, and I'll introduce you to some helpful resources through the Polytec website that you can utilise as students as well as interior designers moving forward into the industry. Okay, the next few slides will be just talking a little bit about the Polytec features and benefits, and who is Polytec, and where we are, and how do we get there, and a little bit about the background. And before we get into that, what I've done is I've just got a short video to play for you. And this short video, we have the directors of the business, John and Michael Borg, who started the business back in their mum and dad's garage in the late 80s. Today, we employ over 2,200 people, and they're going to be talking a little bit about the business. So volume up.
The kitchen is where the family get together every morning, every evening, and to come home to a nice kitchen and to entertain with your friends and family is a beautiful part of the Australian way of life. Hey, I'm Michael Borg.
And I'm John Borg, and we're the directors of Polytec. We manufacture particle board, MDF and kitchen-based and furniture-based products in a decorative range that are used around the country in the kitchen and furniture industry.
So John and I started in 1988 in a small factory on the central coast of New South Wales and developed the business into what Polytec is today. We employ over 2,000 people. We manufacture 4,500 to 5,500 doors a day. We press over 15,000 sheets of board a day. Marrying up the look and feel with the product is very important to us. So having our own design team and having Mary Lou being a part of it, getting feedback from designers and architects, we can come up with the right colours and prints to service the industry.
Because we manufacture in multiple sites in Australia, it makes it easier to distribute product around the country. It's very difficult to import products and maintain stock holding. So by manufacturing in Australia, it allows us to make on demand. If there's projects that are requiring large volumes in certain sheet sizes, we can achieve that quite easily by being locally made. We've got short lead times, we've got very computerised equipment which allows us to turn products around quite fast. Manufacturing in Australia, it's keeping a lot of regional areas with a strong economy, from forestry through to manufacturing through to maintenance. So there's a lot of jobs created regionally in our industry by buying Australian manufactured products. By being Australian made, it actually allows us to become more environmentally friendly compared to other imported products. So we are generating a lot more of our own electricity on our manufacturing sites. We're recycling a lot of our timber back into the products. We're buying the most environmentally friendly vehicles we can find on the market. So we're doing everything we can to keep our footprint as small as possible and recycle as much as possible, which if you're not making locally, it's very hard to recycle the products locally.
Being Australian made is giving the consumer the comfort that our products are well made and to come from nothing to where we are today, and to have that Australian made symbol on our brochures or on our trucks is very important.
The product is used widely around the country, and I think it's very good for our staff to see that they're part of a good company that makes quality products. And when they see it in a shopping centre or they see it at their friends' houses, I think it comes with a bit of pride about being Australian made.
Thanks, John and Michael. So what I'd like to go through now is the first item where from humble beginnings, you can see here, that's their first factory on the top left-hand side. Started off making kitchens. We don't make kitchens anymore. We make board and laminate, pre-finished board, laminate, etch tape, that kind of compact laminate and that kind of thing. You can see some construction to where it is today. We used to have a H in our brand Polytec doors. Now we've dropped the H and moving forward. The next slide talks a little bit about state-of-the-art manufacturing. So we're very much on efficiencies. We have a lot of capabilities across Australia in our manufacturing facility. We use a lot of robotics. Now, the reason we use robotics is for a number of items is because, firstly, when you have someone working in a factory and doing repetitive work, they might injure themselves. So we try and eliminate that by having moving arms of robots, conveyor belts, and so forth, so that the guys who are working on the line don't keep doing the same thing over and over again and injure themselves. The other thing is that with efficiencies, when we get orders from clients, you can just program the machines and it starts producing. We would prefer to use our staff to monitor the lines and also to use our human labour force more in delivery, marketing, administration, making things are going out right. Okay, so you'll find that a lot of our manufacturing facilities really kind of state of the art in terms of technology. We'll talk about safety in a minute. You'll see these yellow fences are everywhere. The next slide talks about vertically integrated business basically for cost efficiencies and sustainable practices. So the vertical integration means that we control the supply chain all the way from a plantation forest, which is managed by PEFC, all the way to manufacturing particle boards, MDF, laminates, melamine, and delivering it to our clients. That way we can also control the costs. We don't have to depend on contractors or overseas products. We can control delivery on time. There's a lot of pressure at the moment on deliveries. We seem to manage it quite well, especially for larger projects and so forth. Responsible manufacturer, both from OH&S as well as environmental practices. So what's really important for us is our team. We want to make sure that the team that works for us, 2,200 employees, a little bit over that now, are safe. There's some safe work practices in place. And the other thing is we want to make sure that we do the right thing by the environment and by the community that are living close by our manufacturing facilities. So we've got a lot of environmental initiatives in place. Our supply chain is very important. So there's no native trees that go into sourcing of our logs. All our logs come from a sustainably managed timber forest. And we also have a fairly large recycling program where I'll talk to you a little bit more about that when I go into the website. But we basically source renewable products from and reuse products from offcuts, from end-of-life pallets, from building sites, joinery shops. We recycle that back into our particle board, which is about 35%. We're probably sitting a little bit more than that at the moment. 35% of product that go into our particle board manufacturing is recycled. We have a large solar panel scheme as well. We know that we can invest up front, but there's a number of years that this will pay off. We've got the formula in place. So not only are we trying to generate our own energy, but also we're trying to bring costs down so it's affordable for our clients. We recycle all the water from our gutters because to make particle board and MDF require a lot of steam, so you need a lot of water. So we recycle that and we use that water so instead of just buying from the grid. We're not 100% energy self-sufficient as yet, but that's the aim. We're not 100% recycled product yet, but that's the aim, and we've got some markers in the future of when we're going to be hitting that. Our compact laminate and high pressure laminate is manufactured in our environmentally improved low toxicity compact and laminate manufacturing facility in Malaysia. So similar initiatives are running in Malaysia to try and bring that back through to fruition. And of course, we come to our exciting part of our business, which is our innovative on-trend decorative surfaces and finishes. We have a interior designer, Mary Lou, who helps us develop our products and our range. Mary Lou's got a pretty tough job to try and forecast trends, to try and understand where the trend is at the market currently. She's got a very hard job. She has to travel all over the world. Now that the doors are open again to travel, lockdown is almost out of the way, and even though COVID is still around, but Mary Lou does a great job with trends and surface finishes and so forth. Okay, so there's our 6 features and benefits. Let's have a little bit of a look at colour, surface finish and application. So we have a look at, so Polytec runs our programs and products. We really see ourselves as part of the fashion industry. So if you don't have a product that's fashionable or a product that's user-friendly, maybe fashion is the wrong term, but it's got to be a product that kind of goes with what's happening in the market. at the moment in terms of colour. So you'll see that, for example, there's a lot of greys everywhere. I don't do a good job of talking about colour and finish as, of course, Mary Lou. I sort of listen to what she says, and she also writes a lot of blogs, so I kind of get guided with what Mary Lou says about colour and surface finish, and also about some of the focus groups that I get invited to within the industry. So we look at colour. If you think back to your grandmother's kitchen with all those beige colours where laminate used to look plasticky, that used to be a 2-colour process. And now we've gone into, because of technology, gone into a 4-colour process. And that gives us an opportunity to create a colour that has a depth of character. So if you look at our timber prints, for example, you'll see there's a depth of character in there. So it's not just a flat print on one colour in the background. That's how it used to be. Now there's a depth of colour. Even the solid colours, you'll find that if you look at them, and they are a really beautiful colour. It's not just like a block of colour. It's got a depth of character in it as well. Surface finishes. We're currently living in an environment where it's very tactile. I know with myself, when I go to a restaurant, for example, I touch and feel the table, want to know whether it's timber or laminate, is it stone or laminate. Even shopping, you go and you feel the clothes, whether it's textured or smooth. So that's very important for us to be able to have a product that's realistic, so mimics reality. So it's not real. We know that it's not real. It's a pre-finished board, but it mimics reality. So we're heavily influenced by what's happening in nature, and that's really important. Okay, so you may have heard of something called biophilia. So biophilia is basically trying to improve the environment of where people are living, or where people are working, or people are going for education, or getting healthcare. So sometimes you can't use real timber, or sometimes you can't have plants, or you can't be sitting outdoors all the time. So the idea of biophilia is to create that, is to mimic nature. So that's why we've introduced products that are heavily textured, that looks like raw timber. Some of the colours look like Australian fauna and flora, and that gives us an opportunity to have that in there as well. Okay, so you've got your surface finish from a super smooth to a textured product. Then we also consider replication, where this product is going, whether it's going in a kitchen, is it going in a professional environment. So we make the products according to where the application is. We kind of look at trends more than fads. So the difference is trends kind of last a lot longer and have a 10 to 20 year kind of span, where fads are a lot shorter than that. And the reason for that is for us to commit to a colour and a finish. There's a lot of tons of laminate or of paper, and we turn it into laminate that we commit to. So we have to go with a trend, not with a fad. Yeah. What I'd like to do is I'd like to take you through to a tool that we have on our Polytec website. So fingers crossed that works. Yeah, perfect. So this tool here, so basically what I've done is I've gone through to Polytec. This is the website. That's the home page. Go to where it says specifier up the top here. Specify. Okay, it gives you an opportunity to select what range of benchtop you want to go with. We'll just go with laminate. Gives an opportunity to select color. Okay, so these are all the colors that are available. Okay, and you just select one of the colors. Let's just go with color marble. Some of the laminates are available in a few finishes. So it gives you an opportunity to select the finish. This one here is only available in Materia. Materia is like a honed marble. So select that, add to shortlist. Then you go through and select your joinery component, which is the doors and panels. We'll just go with ravine, okay. And it gives you an opportunity to select the color. Just go with natural oak. So I've already selected ravine, so it'll only have the ravine finish, but natural oak is also available in a matte finish as well. So it depends on what you select. Okay, so it's only available. It's available in a couple of finishes, but I've already selected the ravine substrates. So that gives you an opportunity to select what substrate, if it's available in a different substrate. This particular one here is MDF, keep it finished, and thicknesses. Okay, so now this is available in a few different finishes. We're just going with kitchen doors, so we'll go with 18mm thick, and we're going to add it to shortlist. We'll download the shortlist here, download the shortlist. Let's fill this out. George, don't worry about email, phone number, business name, state, I'm in New South Wales today, date, just go for something in the future, project name, and project details. Okay, and we're going to download the shortlist. So this shortlist will be downloaded directly to your own desktop. Okay, so we're going to open the file. And these are all the things that are downloaded to your desktop. So we'll have a look at what this one here is, Polytec specification. So this will give you a spreadsheet. Whether you're a student or an interior designer, you'll always find this very handy. So you've got your benchtop, the category, you've got the color, which is this one here, gives you a small color tile, the name of the color, the finish, which is Materia. Then you've got the range, which is Polytec benchtop and laminate, and some technical information. Then you go through to the joinery item. Again, it gives you the color image, the name, the finish, because this is also available in matte. It'll give you a bit of a description, and there you go. Okay. Yeah. In that also, you can have a color swatch. So if you say working on a project at school or putting a presentation through to your client, you'll get a color tile like this, and you can have that in your folder to take to your client, and then kind of go from there. Just go back, color brochure. So let's just go natural oak. Okay, so what happens here is that it will give you all the information. It will give you a bit of a description. A true European yellow brown oak wood grain with wide planking that shows diverse grain depth and colour. Okay. And then it also tells you there's a matte finish. Okay. It tells you all the different sheet sizes and thicknesses and substrates that this product is available in. All right, so that's something that you can add certainly to your portfolio. You can use it on a regular basis. Let's go to here. Technical information as well. So if you wanted any technical information, like warranty, for example. So, if your client wanted to know about the warranty, what kind of warranty comes with this particular product from the manufacturer, this tells you here. And then it also gives you an opportunity to see. So our laminate is antibacterial. So for example, if you're working on a healthcare project, you can certainly understand that, okay, this particular product, go to the Polytec laminates, and it's got antibacterial high pressure laminate, HPL, and compact laminate. And it tells you how to care for it as well, okay? It's got things like fire rating, for example. What if you're working on a product and you want to understand, say you're doing lift lobby or something like that, what's the fire rating? What's a group number for the laminate that Polytec makes? It's group number 1. So that means great, it's good for lift lobbies. But if you check the MDF substrate, for example, it will tell you that it's not group 1, it would be a group 3. So all MDF, for example, is group 3. Laminate is group 1. Okay. If we go back here, it also has a brochure. So these brochures here gives you a brochure for the bench tops, how you can see the product being used, and also for the joinery, items, how it's applied. Okay. So all that information is available for you. That's all gets downloaded. This is part of the Natural Oak Ravine range. Okay. So it comes in very handy. All right, so that's your specification tool. You can certainly use that, but you don't need to join or be a member or anything like that. Everything's all good. Now, what I'd like to do is take you through and show you some helpful Polytec resources on the Polytec website, especially for yourself as students. This is just the Polytec front page. If you go to the color section, you have an opportunity to see all the different colors. The new ones will have new in red, as you can see. Okay. Or you can type in the color that you're after. We'll just go to Natural Oak. Oops. Natural Oak. If we press that here, it tells you straight away that Natural Oak is available in matte and in Ravine. So these are the finishes. Matte is like a matte finish, I guess, and Ravine is a textured finish. Looks and feels like raw timber. Okay. If you wanted to know what the product range is, you can press on product range, and it tells you exactly. This one here is available in 16 mil, 2400 by 1200. Okay. If you're working on more commercial size applications, you go for a 3600 by 1800 sort of sheet size. Okay, and it's got the different thicknesses as well. The interesting part here is that always try and look at the full sheet. So this will give you the full sheet, because the small color tile doesn't really give you an overall look. And this is actually downloadable in if you're doing any rendering, you can download that to your rendering program, and you'll see that instead of having a small tile that only shows you this much, you'll actually get that whole image. Okay. The other thing you can look at is you can look at the gallery, okay, of all the different, how it's used in situ, and the projects. So this is all the different projects that have Polytec product in it. Okay. So that's colors. You can also search by product. So for example, you want to get a product for you're designing a kitchen. You go in here and you've got all the different products that are suitable for a kitchen environment. Products again, if you're working on a laundry, again, that's got all the different products that are available for laundries and so forth. Okay. Gallery, that if you're looking at a product in particular and you wanted to see what it looks like in an application, you can go to the let's look at Steckerwood, for example. Steckerwood is a decorative batten and gets used a lot in environments where there's a lot of noise. So reception areas gets used for, in education, in foyers, in buildings, as you can see here on the top right-hand corner. Also gets used as a decorative aspect in kitchens as well. Okay, so you can use that certainly like that in your kitchen, and looks quite nice. The product substrate is MDF, medium density fiberboard. It's an E0 product, emission zero. We'll talk about that in a sec. Okay, and you can certainly have a look at it. Say you're working on for example, a fit out for a hotel or a restaurant or something like that, you can certainly go to the Zenolith product, which is a 15mm water resilient product. You can great for tabletops, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to go through every product because there's a whole heap and it will take all day. But you can have the opportunity to do that. Then you can go to projects, right? So projects, these are actual projects that have been built and designed by different interior designers and architects, builders and developers. You can either filter by category, okay, or you can go and have a look at a particular one. Okay, it will also tell you who the designer was, if there's a photographer, who the photographer is. So give you some details. It will also tell you what the products are that have been used. Okay, that's quite a handy projects. You can go to brochures. You can download any of the brochures from the different products. Okay, if you're working on something with decorative screens, we also do metal screens. You can download this brochure here. Now, what we've also done is put collections. This is kind of Mary Lou's work, really. Mary Lou has put together a collection of different colours that go together in hue or colour, or, you know, and if you wanted to kind of say you want to go for this one, this is what it looks like. You can actually order the samples, you can download the PDF, okay, and you can share it with Facebook or Pinterest. So that's kind of helps you a lot, trying to put colours together. Specify, we talked about that. And just a little bit about sustainability, where Polytec is at. We've got a business that's called Redirect. What this business does is it collects particle board waste, end-of-life pallets from builders, frames and trusses from builders. So we put a bin there. So instead of the offcuts and end-of-life products going to the tip, we collect that, we clean all the contaminants out of them and put them back into our particle board. Solar panel, we're running a massive solar panel initiative. This is Oberon, for example. That's how big it is. It's a car down here. Okay, so these are the solar panels in Oberon. We have every site we have across Australia, in every state, we've got solar panels on the roof. We also have a scheme where we collect all the water from our gutters. We refine it and clean it, and we reuse it. This particular site here has 53,967,000 solar panels installed, with 17.66 million solar kilowatts per hour generated, and we are saving 11,897,000 emissions carbon dioxide. Okay, so that's the scheme that we're running. Chain of custody is a very important aspect of using timber, and in Australia it's governed by the Green Building Council of Australia, GBCA. This here has to be authorised audited by a different or a third party. So this is by EWPAA, which is saying that Board Manufacturing, Polytec is the brand name, Board Manufacturing is the manufacturer, saying that, yep, these guys these guys meaning us, source timber logs from a sustainably managed timber forest, okay, and they give you a certificate with a number and an expiry date as well, and it gives you all the different kind of sites that we manufacture timber at. Also, Green Building Council of Australia have a handful of authorised auditors like Green Tag. So Green Tag would go to a particular manufacturing business and audit the business and have a look at the product. So this certificate, and issue a certificate. This certificate here is for custom wood, which is MDF and LDF. LDF stands for light density fibre board, and as discussed earlier, MDF is medium density fibre board. This is the results were a green rate level A, which is the highest level. Okay, and for the Green Star Building Program, these are the credits that you get by using our product. Okay, and it goes through to standard and particle board as well. So again, particle board was also achieved a level A rating. Now, if you wanted to do a bit of a, you're sitting at home and, you know, you don't know what, you can't fall asleep, you're more than welcome to download this onto your tablet or your smart tablet and have a bit of a read. This is basically about Polytec and the environment. It talks about, you know, some of the initiatives we're doing, our annual environmental status report, our water treatment plants, air quality. So we measure the air quality, you know, making sure there's no emissions out in the market, in the environment. Our recycling, we discussed recycling, and we discussed solar panel. So basically, if you wanted to also have a bit of an understanding of what each product has, what substrate is inside. So you would have heard the word, I've used the word melamine board. So melamine board does not refer to the substrate. It only refers to the surface. So any board, whether it's MDF substrate or particle board, the surface is melamine paper. It starts off as a paper where, similar to your, you know, wrapping paper, Christmas or present wrapping paper. It's a craft paper. It's decorative on one side. It's got the print, so it'll have this print on it, and then comes to us in a roll. We design it. So Mary Lou works hard with the manufacturers, the paper manufacturers, to design the pattern that she thinks is going to work for us, and gets treated and impregnated by the melamine resin, allows to dry and then pressed onto board, as you saw in the video. Big press goes down and presses it. Generally speaking, particle board is much more cost effective. So that gets used for carcasses. So that would be the internal of the materials, where the MDF, that product gets used on the surface, on all the finishes, all the facings of the joinery. Okay. If you wanted to read a bit more information, you're more than welcome to jump on our blog site page, and here it tells you about, you know, exploring colour internals, the botanical inspired colour patterns of Polytec. So, you know, I just spoke to you a little bit about biophilic and what's biophilic design. So you can certainly read up a little bit more here about it. If you wanted to understand a bit more about the decorative surfaces that we have, you can jump on here. There's some, you know, Polytec news, what's wood mat, and so forth. Also, Mary Lou has put together a talk about micro trends and series, so you're more than welcome to have a look at that. And of course, there's more the other side. There's more of the micro trend series. There's a whole heap of different stuff that you can kind of touch on from an educational perspective as well. Okay. I think that's about it from my perspective. I'm happy to take some questions if you like. Otherwise, I'm more than welcome to reach out to me at another time, and we can certainly have a chat about something offline as well. That's all I've got for you. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it made a lot of sense to you.
Thanks, George. That was awesome. Really
You're welcome.
How good's the website?
It's
so easy to use and get around, and just everything you need at your fingertips on that website. That's amazing. So does Mary Lou post blogs like that? Those 2 pages of blogs on the website. Does she post anywhere else, or does she contribute anywhere else, or mainly just on the blog if you want to find out about what's
Mainly, so Mary Lou works with other suppliers, not from a laminate perspective, because she's a trend forecaster. That's her strength, is working with suppliers and looking at trends and developing products. But for us, it's fantastic that she kind of consults only to us for laminates and pre-finished board. So our just, you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook, or on our website. You'll see blogs all the time.
Oh, good.
Relating to our product, of course.
Yes, excellent. I've got a question here from Michelle. Is there a spot on the website for specifiers to understand costs of the different products?
Yeah, so there isn't one, because the website is run by colour, finish. So you kind of need to reach out to either myself or any of the representatives if you have contact with representatives. That way you can kind of go from there. So your most budget product is your matte finish board, and then going into, like a semi-gloss, we call it sheen, going to ravine, wood matte, and then Vanette, which works out still a lot cheaper than your 2-pack polyurethane finish, and a lot cheaper than any of our laminates, work out a lot cheaper than your stone and re-engineered stone as well. Just incidentally, I just want to quickly touch on polyurethane. So we used to do 2-pack polyurethane, but we found back when it was board kitchens, we found polyurethane as a 2-pack it's a very unhealthy product. So the off-gassing from 2-pack poly is quite harmful to the health and to the environment. So we kind of went right away from it. And we try and use as much as we can E0 board in MDF, E1 in particle board. But also, what you have to keep in mind is, if you specify E0 substrate, MDF for example, and you go and apply a 2-pack polyurethane finish to it, you're kind of really cancelling that E0 product.
Have you found that 2-pack is still quite popular, or is it phasing out a little bit more, like you're just saying, because of the environmental impact?
I think for people who may not have an understanding of where things sit, they would just use 2-pack polyurethane.
Yep.
But once someone has a bit of an understanding, they certainly go for a different product. 2-pack anyway chips and misbehaves and discolors over time. So really, a lot of the high-profile interior designers wouldn't use that product, or architects in projects who understand where it's all coming from wouldn't use that. So I kind of try and advise people to try and use pre-finished board, which is a much more healthier product.
Yeah. It's probably a lot easier too if something happened to replace. Whereas with 2-pack, you've got to have the repair kit, and you've got to, fix it through the, when you get got to match up the colour and everything. When something, if it's chipped or whatever.
That's exactly right.
There's a question here from Hetty. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just answering. There's a question here from Hetty.
Yeah, go for it. Yep.
So the best place to order samples is the website, and all the products on the Polytec website is available for interior designers to specify. Other interior design products that we can see on the website, it's all really for interior design. Is that what you mean? Or I'm not quite sure. Are there interior design products that we can see on the website? If you can just clarify what you mean by that, I'd really appreciate it. Yes, we do. We send out sample packs for specifiers. Absolutely, we have that.
Do you have reps that say you wanted to, you're doing a project, doing kitchen, you want to specify Polytec. will a rep come out to you? As
Yeah,
well?
absolutely.
You need a rep? Yeah. Okay.
So we have representatives that have different areas that they look after, and different territories. So basically, all you need to do is, if you're a designer, just contact the office on the 1300 number. Tell them where you are and you want someone to come out and see you, and they'll allocate the right representative to come out and see you in that area and set you up with an interior design specifiers pack. You can also order from the website, like we said, or you can have a look at, if you really wanted to use the website specifier as a tool for your schedules. That schedule program is designed to be used by interior designers so that you can actually download that to your desktop and send it out to builders to give you quotes on the project that you're working on. Okay? If you wanted to see projects that are finished by interior designs, you just go to the project page, and like I showed you previously, and that'll show you a variety of whole heap of projects across Australia in a whole heap of different applications and different market segments.
Fantastic. Thanks, George.
You're welcome.
Does Polytec ever run any workshops or in-house events, trade nights, things like that?
Yes, absolutely. We run a whole heap of different sort of things. We run specifiers for joinery tips for the specifiers. So we run a series of those presentations. We host them. We do factory tours as well. We've done different educational facilities through our factory, and we take them through. People can see, students can see the how we make the product. Over lunch, we have a bit of a lunch, that kind of thing, a little bit of fun.
Yep. And
kind of go from there. We also participate with a lot of different activities, like Saturday in Design, for example. We partner up with Lane Furnishings and Infinity Commercial Furniture, and we did a presentation. We had the whole day there. Mary Lou did a talk as well, we do a whole heap of different activities.
That sounds wonderful. We'll have to keep in touch and get in the loop about that. Gabby, could you get the contacts for reps from George to share with us? I'd love to know who the Newcastle rep is.
Yeah, I can put you in touch with the Newcastle rep. That's no problem at all.
Yep, cool.
Happy to do that. There was a question there by Liz. Is it possible to borrow a door cabinet sample? Yeah, of course it is. No problem at all. Just ask for, if you call the office and tell them where you are and you wanted to see a specification rep, the spec rep will put an order for you for a door. Any of the doors from our Polytec website, and we can make one for you, and the specification representative can bring it out to you. No problem at all.
Awesome. Thanks so much, George, for your time. You're always very insightful and full of great info. And I just love how the website just gives you so much information. You can it's a really good resource place for everybody to use. And I love how you've also got those capabilities of being able to use the rendering, like with the finishes. You can.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's really good for drawings and things like that.
That's a very, very important part of our. It's a very important part of our business is to help interior specifiers to select products from our range and be able to specify them on projects. So whatever help we can give you, whether it's samples, whether it's a specification tool, whether it's a rendering, downloading a lot of the colours for rendering purposes. The website is quite dynamic. We've got a marketing team that works on that in the background, and certainly can be very, very useful for you. Yeah. And please, if you have time, try and read some of the blogs. They're quite insightful. It helped me a lot in terms of trying to understand where we are from a decorative colour and finish perspective. Yeah. And it's certainly worked quite well for me and a lot of the clients that I put them in touch with. They find them very helpful.
Yeah, fantastic.
My pleasure.
Right, well, yeah, we'll let you go, George. I'm sure you're very busy. So thanks so much again for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for reaching out to me, and I hope it was an interesting presentation to you and to the team. Please feel free to reach out to me if you need anything, and we can help you with whatever you need. Thanks a lot, and good luck with everything.
Lovely. Thanks a lot. Okay then.
Bye-bye.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Bye.